have a better way to kick off this event. So let's give them another round of applause. Welcome, everybody. I'm Danchen Xu, Mayor Walsh liaison to the Asian community. Today, we come together to celebrate Asian Pacific American Heritage Month with performances, activities, and delicious food. I hope some of you are hungry already. I want to thank the many people who made this event possible. This includes Mayor Walsh, Qua Pam, Mayor's Liaison to Vietnamese Community, the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services, the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Advancement, BCYF Quincy Center, Chinatown Main Street, Property Management, and Special Events, and the Office of Arts and Culture. Thank you so much for your tireless support. Thank you. But before we start today's event, I want to bring our attention to the past. The first major wave of Asian immigrants arrived in the United States over 150 years ago and started settling in Massachusetts shortly after that. These brave immigrants, some of them our ancestors, decided to come to a new world where they could pursue new hopes and dreams for themselves and their families, while contributing to the growth of a young country. While they often suffered great difficulties and injustices, some mandated by law, it is safe to say that their sacrifices helped build this nation. One example of this is with the building of the Transcontinental Railroad. Throughout the event, please pay attention to the 7 traveling banners behind you, which will highlight the Asian Transcontinental Railroad workers. These banners will be introduced in just a few minutes by a few of our community members. So while today's event is an opportunity to celebrate our present and look forward to the future, it is also an important opportunity to learn from and pay respect to our past. Last but not least, I want to thank the following organizations and local businesses for their great support and engagement. I can't stress enough how crucial their participation was in creating this event. This is going to be a long list, but I hope that gives you a sneak peek of how thriving our community is. And Hong Restaurant, Ballet Bakery, Boston University Bangura, Chinese American Citizens Alliance, Chinese American Heritage Foundation, Chinatown Business Association, Chinese Consolidated Benevolent Association of New England, Chinese Historical Society of New England, Great Taste Restaurant, Josiah Quincy Orchestra Program, New England Hakka Family Association, New England Kung Fu Dance Association, Penang Malaysian Cuisine, Saigon One Restaurant. Thank you so much. Next, please give a warm welcome to Susan Chu from Chinese Consolidated Benevolent Association and Jess Kami from Chinese Historic Society of New England.
Good morning, everybody. I am very happy to be here with Jess today at City Hall on behalf of the CCBA and Chesney to celebrate Boston City Hall's kickoff of Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. Some of you may not know, but one of the reasons May was chosen as the month to celebrate the history and contributions of the API community was because it also marks the anniversary of the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad on May 10, 1869. This year marks the 150th anniversary of the railroad's completion, and CCBA, along with Chesney, CACA, and CAHF, have brought to New England an exhibit by the Chinese Railroad Workers in North America project at Stanford University, and the title of the exhibit is The Chinese and the Iron Road, Building the Transcontinental, which highlights the contribution of Chinese workers to the completion of the railroad. The exhibit is on display here at City Hall today, just right behind you, and it will be back for further display at the end of the week from May 10th until May 17th. And after that, it will be on display at various different locations throughout the greater Boston area. If you're interested in the schedule, I encourage you to visit our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/CCBA Boston. I think these exhibits are very important because the past is informative as how to improve the future. And I encourage everybody to take a look at them to learn more about a chapter of American history that isn't discussed in most classrooms. The API community has come a long way since the days of the railroad, but there's still room for improvement. And in light of the Asian model minority stereotype, we need to be mindful that the API community still experiences discrimination in everyday life, and that there are many members who still continue to struggle. We're lucky in Boston to have representatives who are very supportive and sensitive to our concerns and needs. And CCBA itself, as a cultural nonprofit institution, is very thankful to the city for its financial support, especially through the Community Preservation Act, which has enabled us to continue providing cultural and historical services as our building at 90 Tyler Street. I want to take this moment to introduce one of the dance groups who actually practices at our facility on a weekly basis, the New England Kung Fu Dance Association.
康福舞，春满人间。预备式。春光灿烂，江山多娇。 人间。
Thank you, New England Kung Fu Dance Association. Now we're going to take a 10 minutes break. Meanwhile, you can enjoy the multiple activities, including calligraphy, rubbings, and also paper cutting, and the Hakka Cultural Association's display. And also you can read from the 7 traveling panels about the Transcontinental Railroad and the Chinese Historic Society of New England's cultural banner. In 10 minutes, we'll be welcoming the students from Josiah Quincy Orchestra program to bring some performance for us. Thank you. As promised, our students from Josiah Quincy Orchestra program will bring 2 pieces to you. And at the same time, I want to make the announcement that our dear Office of Neighborhood Services co-workers are at the other end of this venue, that they will be serving some cuisines that are donated by local businesses and organizations. And without further ado, I want to introduce Chris Schroeder, who's the Executive Director of Josiah Quincy Orchestra program, to say a few words.
Thank you, Danchen, for inviting us here. Thank you to the City of Boston and Mayor Marty Walsh for the invitation to be here today. Josiah Quincy Orchestra program is a proud partner of Boston Public Schools, working with over 200 students, 50 of which are in the special needs program at our program. Today we have our Sibelius Orchestra, which is our intermediate ensemble, performing 2 selections for you. The work that we do in the Boston community is centered around music proficiency, developing that in young children, but also social-emotional learning and developing executive function through our process. So we're very excited to present 2 pieces for you today. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day. Okay. All right, ladies. Ray and Vivian. Okay, come over here, stand over here. All right, Tim, just get them to stand up against the backdrop of the, yeah, just in a group shot. Wait, you want this down? Okay, Ray and Vivian, ready to go? Come. Bring him over with you.
Okay. Hey kids, come over here. We're gonna take a photo right here. Come.
Very loud, like shout.
Hi, my name is Vivian. Hi, my name is Ray. We are from the Josiah Quincy Orchestra program. Please put your hands together for Mayor Martin Walsh.
You're certainly welcome. Why? What's going on? We'll figure it out. All right. Fair enough. I don't know. Keep this up.
Thank you. Let me just say this. Thank you very much for that great introduction. How about another round of applause for our young performers at the Josiah Quincy School? Some great musicians here. I want to thank you all for being here today. I want to give a shout out to a couple of people. I want to thank Danchen for helping us coordinate today. I want to thank Cora for helping us coordinate today. I want to thank the Josiah Quincy Elementary School and the orchestra program. We should give them another round of applause. They do amazing work. I want to thank all the businesses that are here today. We have businesses from Fields Corner, Chinatown Business Association, Chinese Consolidated Benevolent Association, the Chinese Historical Society of New England. Thank you all for being part of this very special day today. I want to thank also to all of you for joining us, kicking off Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. And we're joined by City Councilor Eddie Flynn, who's going to come up here in a few minutes, and many members of my administration in different parts of the city. I want to thank the many Asian American employees who work for the city of Boston. We have over 800 people that work in all the different city departments, so I want to thank you all. The city is grateful for your public service and commitment to the city and to the people. We want to make sure that the voices of the Asian community is heard in every part of the discussions in our city as we continue to move forward. Boston is proud to have a strong Asian community, and throughout the years, the Asian immigrants have come from Boston to America to seek opportunities for a better life. Actually, come from other countries to Boston to seek opportunity in a better way of life, in another way of life, and I want to thank you for that. Your contributions and the contributions of the Asian community has been enormous and touch every facet of life, from business to arts and culture to government and so much more. Asian immigrants have helped build Boston that we know today, and all immigrants have helped us build our city, and that's what we love, the immigrant community in the city of Boston. I want to thank you for that. May 10th marks the 150th anniversary since the accomplishment of building our country's biggest and most impressive accomplishment, the Transcontinental Railroad. When the railroad opened in 1869, it made it possible to cross the continent by rail for the first time ever. City Hall is going to be lit up in red on May 10th to commemorate this, so we're excited about that. Tens of thousands of Chinese workers were brought to the U.S. to help build that railroad. They endured many hardships, including unsafe work conditions, unfair labor practices, and severe discrimination. They took a stand against these injustices, staging one of the biggest labor strikes in our era. Even though it was unsuccessful, they inspired the future of workers in our country and in our world. For too long, the contributions of the Chinese and Asian immigrants have been ignored and forgotten in our history books. We must always remember and always celebrate their mark on our history, as well as their continued impact on our city. That's what we are committed to doing here in the city of Boston. We understand that we wouldn't be the city today if it weren't for our immigrants. The same goes for many communities that impacted the city and our countries in monumental ways. We recognize, we remember, we celebrate our immigrant heritage. We continue to learn from our past to pave a way for the future, and we pledge to always be a welcoming city, no matter who you are or where you come from. Again, I want to thank everyone for coming here today. I hope you check out the Transcontinental Railroad panel exhibit here in the mezzanine. You'll see a lot of different information over there. I want to thank all of the organizations, particularly from Chinatown, that came here today, and all the different folks. I also want to give a shout out to City Councilor Tim McCarthy's here. Thank you, Councilor McCarthy, for being here. Connie Wong from the Boston Fire Department is here. Thank you, Connie. We have so many folks here, representatives from different areas, and now it's my great honor to introduce to you a city councilor who is wrapping up his first term. He represents Chinatown. He does an amazing job making sure the constituencies in his district are representative, particularly the Chinatown constituency. He probably calls me the most of anybody to make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing in Chinatown. City Councilor Eddie Flynn.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you to the organizers of this important event. And Mayor Walsh said it best. Boston is a city of immigrants. And under Mayor Walsh's leadership, we treat our immigrants with respect and dignity. The Chinese and Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders have made an enormous contribution to our city and to our country. As the mayor mentioned, the Transcontinental Railroad was built by Chinese. Not only that, they came back to Boston and great urban centers. They served our military and the United States military and helped build our great cities. And they were often treated very unfairly by the people here. They were often discriminated against. But we're so proud that we have a mayor that treats our immigrant community with fairness, with respect, and with dignity and compassion. And that's what Boston is all about, making sure that everybody has a voice. And I'm so honored and so proud to represent the Chinese community here in Boston. And please know, whatever I can do to be helpful. We also want to say thank you to Danchen, who's an excellent leader, also in Chinatown, working closely with the mayor. And the mayor, and I'm also proud to have on my staff 2 young women that speak Cantonese and Mandarin fluently. So anytime there's any issue at all, please come to me, please come to Danchen, and we'll try our best to make sure that you get the city services that you need. Again, I'm very proud to represent this neighborhood, and I'm also proud of the work of Mayor Walsh and his administration, making sure our immigrant community is treated fairly, treated with respect and dignity. Thank you very much. Another great leader in our city that does an incredible amount of work in helping our immigrant community as well, City Councilor Matt O'Malley. Councilor O'Malley, will you please join us?
Thank you, Ed. Keep it going for Eddie Flynn, everybody. And to our great mayor, Marty Walsh, who gets up every day to really build a better, thriving city that moves forward, that's really advancing for everybody. My name's Matt O'Malley. I'm proud to be the District 6 City Councilor. I primarily represent the neighborhoods of Jamaica Plain, West Roxbury, a little bit of Rosendale, the back of Mission Hill, and a little bit of Roxbury. And I just really wanted to come down today to show my support for the Asian American community, one of the best communities in our incredible city. I'm so proud to live in and represent this district and in our city, a place that really is making sure that we move forward for everybody. So delighted to be with each and every one of you. Thank you for letting me say hello, and it's great to be here as we celebrate Asian Americans in Boston, in the Commonwealth, and beyond. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Councilor. Thank you, Councilor Matt O'Malley and Councilor Ed Flynn. Thank you, Mayor Walsh, to make today's event possible. Now, As many of you know, we have lots of residents in Chinatown and all the other neighborhoods in the city of Boston. At the same time, Boston is also well known as a town of colleges. Today, we had the honor to introduce the Boston University Bhangra Dance Group to perform for us. Let's give them a warm welcome. Thank you.
Hey guys, we're Boston University Bhangra. We're from Boston University. We're a North Indian dance style, so we only have one rule when we perform, and that's everybody needs to make a lot of noise when we perform, all right? So I like to do this little test before we start, so can I get this side to make some noise? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, not bad. Can we get the middle? Ready? 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. How about over here? Can I get some noise? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Back, all right? Hindustani hip, Punjab कहते हैं, और साथी बोल है अभी तुम देखो, और साथा सीना हमारे मांग में छोड़ा, तो कभी बस्ती को पहचान में को, छोड़ोगी, ऐसे ही नहीं, एक करता है कि पकड़े तो मत पकड़ो, थोड़ी अब क्या रहा, पंजाब का लोग पकड़ा, 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 हमारे बंदूक से नौका ना पटा, ओए ये ना पैमाना ने, अच्छे पक्के बंदे ना जोड़ा, ऊपर कितना होया, आज तक मैं तू, राम भी अपने पकड़ा,
What is this behavior?
हैबिट गया जेड़ी कदे भी ना होनी मैथों चेंज मेरी वे मेरा गोरा रंग रूप तैनू फबदा ही ना काश हुंदी वे मैं काली काली रेंज तेरी वे एनू साब साब रखे था था सुनिया मेरी तेरे उत्ते अख तैनू तां चुनिया स्टेप बैक करदी नी धी जट्टां दी वे तू छड़दी बेशक मैं तां हां चुनिया वे तू दुनिया तो वख तैनू तां चुनिया मेरी तेरे उत्ते अख तैनू तां चुनिया स्टेप बैक करदी नी धी जट्टां दी वे तू छड़दी बेशक मैं तां हां चुनिया
But
ਦੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਤਾਂ ਸਮਝੋ ਵੀ ਬਾਹਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਓ ਜੱਗਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਜਿਹਾ ਕੀ ਮੈਂ ਕੀ ਤੇ ਲੈ ਜਰਾ ਅੱਜ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਤੇਰਾ ਯਾਰ ਜੱਗਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਜਿਹਾ ਕੀ ਮੈਂ ਕੀ ਤੇ ਲੈ ਜਰਾ ਅੱਜ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਤੇਰਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਲੱਕਲਾ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਚ ਉੱਠਿਆ ਸਲਵਰ ਸਪੂਨਾ ਕਈ ਸਾਲਾਂ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਕੱਢ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਕੋਈ ਜਨੂਨਾ ਆਓ ਪੀਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੀਤ ਕੱਢ ਪੜਿਆ ਸਰਦਾਰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਜਣੇ ਖੜਿਆ
Thank you, BU Bangladesh Association. Now, let's welcome the Hakka Family Association of New England to bring us a tea leaf picking dance. Let's give them a warm welcome.